All right, welcome back to the Carl Jackson Show. I want to segue to the Biden administration and Biden's staff has made some more news this week and some more unfortunate news. Unfortunately, right before Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, or just a couple of days before Christmas. So the Biden administration has commuted the sentences of 37 federal death row prisoners. And obviously, the families of the victims are absolutely outraged. In my opinion, this is justice revoked. If you've never gone through any type of criminal trial or witnessed any type of criminal trial, or I hope you haven't gone through or experience the pain that occurs when you lose a loved one or something like that to a violent crime. It is a very sad and draining event, and a murder is on another level. So here you have the Biden administration decides to commute the sentence of 37 federal death row prisoners, and the families are outraged, and justifiably so. You even had a squad member, Representative Ayanna Pressley, come out. And she opined upon the news that Biden was commuting these sentences. She feels like this is something that should be done because she's a social justice warrior. These people believe in cultural Marxism. They don't believe in mass incarceration, but what's weird is they have no solutions for stopping mass crime. It only seems to be since any person is found guilty of any type of crime, including death row inmates at this particular time, if they were sentenced in America's justice system, somehow it should be null and void. It's absolutely astonishing to me. The left is really dangerous when it comes to crime. That's why these blue cities are out of control, because they are enablers when it comes to crime. Listen, I want you guys to. I don't think it'll fall short on the ears of my viewers. The reason why America is so great is because we have a Judeo-Christian value system. It is the basis for Western civilization. All right. So without biblical truths, without a biblical worldview, there is no objective truth. Everything beyond objective truth that you find in the Bible is a mere opinion. That's why you've heard me argue before about moral objective truth versus subjective truth. If there's your truth versus my truth versus their truth, but there's no objective truth, who's to say if Charles Manson is evil? Who's to say if any one of these murderers that were just commuted by Joe Biden is evil? Who's to say? And I want you to play this video in just a sec here, Gabe, from SNL, that Luigi Mangione, this murderer, that assassin, this Brian Thompson, the United Healthcare CEO, who's to say that he's not good? I want to play this video for you. This is SNL. I want you to look at this reaction, and I want you to understand why the left cannot be in control of running our states, our cities. They do not believe in the rule of law. Everything falls under the umbrella of social justice for them. And social justice is not justice. Social justice is wealth redistribution. It is what they call equity over equality, where everyone, no matter how much effort you've put forward, no matter where you started, we all end up in the same place. It doesn't matter if you've worked hard to become a scientist, teacher, engineer, plumber, it doesn't matter. They want to make sure that everyone that is a minority ends up making the same amount of money, has the same amount of opportunity, even if they didn't put in the same amount of work. That's who the left is. And they apply that across the board when it comes to crime, when it comes to wages, absolutely everything. And it's going to destroy this country. And it undermines our Judeo-Christian value system that says that we are built upon the rule of law. We have a moral foundation that is based on objective truth. Everyone gets an equal opportunity. I know it didn't start out that way, but that's where we've ended up. That's why we were a very small part of the slave trade, and I'm not minimizing anything. And it's also why the United States of America, even though we were a young country, ended slavery. But I want you to understand who you're dealing with when you deal with the left. We've already shown you the video in earlier segments of the woman that was torched on that subway train. You saw the passerby. That's the left. Sadly, that's the left. I want you to watch this SNL clip. I want you to listen to this praise of this murderer, Luigi Mangione, that women on the left are absolutely, I don't understand the fascination, but they're in love with this guy, it seems. Let's roll it, please, Kate.
Luigi Mangione dropped. Yeah, definitely woo. You're wooing for justice, right? Luigi Mangione dropped his extradition fight and was flown from Pennsylvania to New York to face multiple charges. In related news, Bumble exploded.
It's sad, and it's true. And that kind of makes it funny. I hate to admit that, but it's sickening. This is where our society is. Listen, guys, Dennis Prager had a great PragerU video where he talked about these Judeo-Christian values. I would encourage all of you guys to see them. But for the sake of societal cohesion, we have to, those of us Americans, we have to abide by our Judeo-Christian system. And listen, it gives freedom to everybody. Atheists, it doesn't matter, because those of us that are Christians, those of us that are Jews and religious, we love everyone. But we recognize, in order for a society to exist, and in order for the United States to maintain its cohesion, we have to have some of the same moral values, or the same moral values, the same standards. That's why we can follow and we implement the 10 Commandments in our laws, and we abide by them. So understand that when Biden is commuting these sentences, what he's doing, and actually we all know that it's his staff, some cultural Marxists in his staff, just like that's undermining the rule of law, that's undermining biblical principles. And I want you to understand that's exactly what they're going after. See, whether you're a Protestant, an evangelical like myself, Catholic, Mormon, or Jewish, we all understand in this country, those of us have a religious background, that the reason that this country works is because we do abide by the 10 Commandments. Does it mean that we live perfect lives? Absolutely not. But we understand that in the greater scheme of things, in order to have a society that functions, again, all of us have to have the same shared values. Stealing has to be wrong. Lying has to be wrong. Murder has to be wrong. And people that do it have to be held account. There has to be consequences for them in our judicial system when, in fact, people do break the law. So this is that's why objective truth is so important. That's why even this trans issue is so important. You heard Trump earlier calling out trans lunacy and saying that he would put an end to it day one. The reason why that is so important, and actually we have that clip, but for the sake of time, we'll hold out on playing it. But the reason why that's so important is because he understands that we have to have objective truth. It is not right for a man to play against a woman. Now, let me give you the synopsis on some of the commutations that have occurred. And remember, these family members have gone through long, drawn-out, exhausting court hearings where they were forced, not forced per se, but where they had the opportunity, sadly, to see probably their loved ones being murdered if it was on tape, which was the case in some of these arenas. And now they sat through the trials. The jury found these murderers guilty, and now it's gone. So there are 3 murderers that Biden or his staff didn't commute, and that happens to be Robert Bowers. He was convicted for a 2018 mass shooting at a Pittsburgh synagogue. Dylan Roof, I'm sure you guys remember, convicted for that 2015 mass shooting at the black church in Charleston, South Carolina, where he executed congregants. And then you have this Tsarnaev brother that was convicted of the 2013 bombing at the Boston Marathon. Now, why wouldn't Biden's staff commute those people, or Biden commute those death penalty sentences, which goes to show you this is all political. This isn't about doing the morally right thing. These were all highly political cases. Dylan Roof dealing with the black community, this mass shooting in Pittsburgh dealing with Jewish people, the Tsarnaev event where a lot of liberals were even for the death penalty because of what they experienced in in Boston. And Biden writes, "Make no mistake, I condemn these murderers, grieve for the victims of their despicable acts and ache for all the families who have suffered unimaginable and irreparable loss." Citing his experience as a public defender, which he hardly had any, by the way. But he says, "I am more convinced than ever that we must stop the use of the death penalty at the federal level." Well, why didn't he do it sooner? He also hinted that possible action by the incoming Trump administration was part of his motivation. This is in a writing in NPR. And then you had a bunch of social justice warriors that backed him. You had some religious leaders, some prison officials, obviously Ayanna Pressley, including you also had Pope Francis included. But Biden never ran. People talk about how he pledged to do this during his 2020 presidential campaign to abolish the death penalty and said he would support legislation to eliminate the death penalty. Well, he didn't do that. He let three death penalty inmates convictions stay. And he didn't run on commuting people. This is all about cultural Marxism. This is about undermining our Judeo-Christian value system, and it is absolutely despicable. We'll be back. Carl Jackson here for MyPillow, and we are just a couple of days away from Christmas. MyPillow is excited to announce that their Christmas extravaganza is here. You can get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, however, so get them while you can. They're famous My Slippers. These haven't been on sale for over a year now, regularly priced at $119.98, but for a limited time only, they're down to $59.98, and their 6-piece towel sets are back in stock as well with extremely limited quantities, but they're only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. All right, so they have bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, so much more. Go to MyPillow.com or call 800-858-0263 and be sure to use the promo code Carl to save on all MyPillow products. That's promo code Carl, C-A-R-L, for flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, the 6-piece towel sets for $29.98, and that's not all. They're extending their 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2025, plus all orders $75 or more are shipped for absolutely free. MyPillow.com, promo code Carl.